again, being a competitive person, I tried to figure out ways to be successful quickly. And there's kind of a reoccurring theme that I've done even in staffing or just in general. And again, I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I think a lot of people out there try to start from scratch, and it can take a lot longer. Whereas if you look at someone, your future self, right? Someone that's doing what you want to do successfully, how did you get there and how you're doing it today? What is a $20 lunch going to cost you? That's invaluable information that they're giving you compared to a $20 lunch. I'll pay that every time, $100, whatever it looks like, because
Absolutely.
I was able to build relationships and look at some of the experts, some of the other field sales reps that have been doing this successfully, and I learned very quickly how to do it. And then I also tailored it to my own style, and that's how I was able to be successful. So I quickly, rose through the ranks, closed a ton of business, and up until I became a manager, in 6 months, I closed about 96% of my quota. So I was clearly on track to crush it. And then there was an opportunity to be a manager. I think it's very important to note when I was starting off in this role that I was hired. I was the only one out of those team of 10 that had zero banking experience, zero fintech experience. And again, they took a shot on me. I had to learn everything from scratch. Start from the basics. And again, I was able to quickly rise to the ranks because I looked at the people that were doing it successfully and tried to replicate that as quickly as possible. Don't overthink it.
I think there's a really good point in there about just, whatever position you're in, whether you're in a position or whether you're working for yourself, figure out a way to talk to the people that have done it before, because there are going to be things that they did wrong. And if you talk to them and figure that stuff out, you don't have to do it wrong. You can take shortcuts and do it quicker. Like you said, you figure out how to be successful more quickly. And that's how to do it, is figuring out the shortcuts of how do I not do all of these things wrong that have already been done wrong by other people in this position.
Exactly. And so I think this is something for anyone who's in college or, you don't even have to be in college. Just let's say you have zero experience, right? Don't try to compare yourselves to others that have 5 years of experience, because something that I've learned very early on is just because you have a ton of experience doesn't make you an expert or that you're good at what you do. So what I would recommend is find ways to be successful, reach out to some of the people that have been successful in whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be sales. If you want to be in real estate or an actor, whatever the case is, try to find people that have already done what you want to do, your future self, right? Find your future self and try to replicate that as fast as possible. Tailor it because everyone's different, but if you can find a way to replicate that as fast as possible, you'll be successful in the long run.
Now, in a lot of cases where you were working in, right, you're in a corporation where it's going to be pretty evident who has done that before in your organization. You mentioned taking them out to lunch or something. What are maybe some other ideas, other tactics that a listener or viewer might be able to implement that's a little bit earlier on to gain that attention? Because a lot of times that, that successful person, if you find the right person, they're going to be a busy person. Might be hard for you to be able to make that pitch that, their time is worth your time. So what are some tactics and some ideas in the approach there of, finding that person and earning their time to be able to get that?
It's a really good question. And I think it comes back to you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So if you aren't in a job, right, and you're looking for this first step or this first step towards your future self, reach out to someone on LinkedIn, do your research, maybe social media, whatever it looks like, and just say, listen, I've been doing some research. I think I'd love the opportunity to just spend 5 or 10 minutes. People love helping people. And if you can truly be genuine about your approach and say, listen, I'm really just trying to get something out of this. It doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be something where, you're paying them for their time. People like to help people. So again, try to reach out as much as possible. Try to spend some time. Again, don't reach out to one person, they ignore you or reject you, and then stop. I think a lot of people take rejection in a sensitive way. Again, look at it like how I talked about earlier. It's one step closer to a yes. So reach out to 100 people, 500 people. Shoot, if you're looking for an internship and they don't have one available, tell them you'll work for free. What's part-time going to do? If it's invaluable experience and it's something you want to do long-term, in reality, what's the loss if you just work for them for a summer or, even for a short amount of time for free? It's a mutually beneficial thing.
Yeah, and expanding on your point about people loving to help people, people do love to help people. People also love to be told that they're doing a great job at something. So if you can reach out to someone and be like, "Hey, you are killing it in the fintech sales space. I want to be in the fintech sales space. I want to learn from you because you're killing it." You've shown this person that you, one, are paying attention to what they're doing, really value what they're doing. But also, too, you're kind of buttering them up and saying, "Hey, you're killing it, and I want to learn from you because you're killing it." It's a great approach.
And again, and you have to be honest about it, right? Because at the end of the day, people can read other people very well.
Yeah.
And again, as long as you position yourself in a way of, "Hey, I love what you do. I want to do that one day. How can you help me out? Can I do anything to get some of your time?" If you position it in a way like that, how could someone say no?
And if you do your research and you find someone who genuinely is really killing it in that space, it's going to be easy to make that reach out because, I mean, you've done your research. You know why they're killing it. You know the metrics around the fact that they're killing it. You're just going to be like, "I think you're a rock star. I want to learn from you."
Exactly.
Who's going to say no to that?
Definitely.